Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Carried. Okay.
Got more business?
Now, this will come up, what we do is just make a recommendation to the city council. So this will come up in front of them, when is it? 10th?
10 for the work session, and then,
I don't know.
yeah, I'll have to grab another sheet. Excuse me. Keep grabbing these, I've got about 15 of them in my office. October 10th is the next council work session, and October 14th is the regular session.
So if you would like to speak or ask questions again, you can be there October the 10th. And then October 14th, they won't take any public,
It's a voting session.
they just vote on it that night. They won't ask for any public input.
What time on October 10th?
5:30.
5:30.
I'm sorry,
5:30
5:30?
on both the 10th and the 14th.
At the depot.
Or at the T?
Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is the update of table 4.2 and 4.4 residential and commercial
you.
size requirements. Anyone that wants to leave, if they so choose, you can do it. You're welcome to stay and see what happens with this. Update on the table 4.2 and 4.4, we're gonna open a public hearing on that. And I'm gonna ask our planning director, Justin, again, to give us a quick review of that.
This is a little more on the lot width requirements. What we're doing is putting these more into conformance of what standard lot widths are. Wrote an example in there for y'all, R1 and R2. If you look at page 21, we look at the deleted on the side. For a little while now, we've had R1 and R2 were required to have the same lot width, which was 100 feet. Now, that comes into a little bit of a problem because R1 is 100 feet, but the minimum lot size is an acre. R2, the minimum lot width was 100 feet, but the minimum lot size was half an acre. So what we were doing was getting wider and wider lots. So, standard lot width requirement for R2 zonings is about 75 feet, 75 feet. So we're putting it up for consideration that that be 75 feet, R3 be 60 feet, which is a very, very common smaller lot width. And for the MFRs and the MUs and OR, most of these are already very small lots. They're out of compliance. And so, say for instance, OR is a 14,520 square foot lot that was required to be 75 foot wide. So it gives you a much
Long, narrow.
or deep and wide, whichever one.
That's
You
the
know?
way it
So what we've done is put these into standard brackets. We had like our MFR was 70 foot for a single family, but they're only required to be 7,500 feet. So that would give you a really elongated lot. So what we've done is just recommended putting these in standard lot widths for surrounding communities. The next one is table 4.4. We had, this is for non-residential zoning districts. So our institutional, commercial, and industrial. We adopted a tree protection and landscaping ordinance about 2 years ago that put in a minimum landscape and open space areas at like 20% almost across the board, 20 to 15%. Our maximum building coverage was a little cumbersome because they were 40%, 40%, 50%, 50%, 50% going down the line. And that's on page 35. Well, what that did was, in our definitions, parking lots and parking structures are considered buildings. So the parking lot and the building, the commercial building, can only take up 40% of the lot. That is completely unreasonable, and had to do with our definitions. But since we've adopted the tree and landscape ordinance in our subdivision and land development code, what we're doing is making the zoning code and the subdivision and land development ordinance mesh. So now, when they come in for building, they're governed by the two of them. And their open space requirement is in the subdivision land development ordinance and not in a maximum building coverage. Another thing we wanted to get rid of entirely is the institutional, is schools and public facilities. Well, we all know that schools don't follow anybody's zoning code anyway. They're going to build the whole thing.
What they want to
So,
do.
and they had a maximum building coverage of 40%.
Yeah.
So we just recommend to remove the maximum building coverage for non-residential structures and let it fall under the requirements for the subdivision land development ordinance. And that is,
No reason to have it in two places.
yes, sir, that's correct. And that
Contradicts each other.
That's B, the two tables.
Any members have any questions? Yes?
Oh, I'm sorry. In table 4.2, I did add non-permitted, the NP on R4. Back, I think it was December 3rd, 2018, the council had voted to remove R4 from our zoning districts, and the chart was never changed. So what we've done is just put not permitted on R4 and mark them all off in red, because we still do get questions about it.
So to do townhomes now, you have to be,
You would have to be in MFR or MU and have the good graces of the council, because they tend to cut those down.
any agriculture, R1, 2, or R3, you cannot build townhomes. You have to go to at least MFR.
Yes, sir. Yeah, MFR or MU are the only allowable ones.
Anyone want to speak in favor of this? No one, anyone in opposition?
Not opposition, but just a quick question. I don't know if you guys are able to answer this, but why now? Is it just a mistake that was caught and we realized that the two contradicted each other, so we need to update it so we're all on the same level playing field?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, is get everything.
Yes, sir. We did a code revision back in, was it May? May. We did a big revision in May where we caught a bunch of stuff. I started in January.
Gotcha, I understand.
So I had a list of things that were becoming problems and stuff that I noticed. And so we brought that before the planning commission and the council. I believe it was May, but I may be wrong. And we took care of some of them. Since then, we've had a few more things that have been brought to our attention. Hey, this is cumbersome. Hey, this is not right. Or somebody asked me what was the appropriate zoning district for them to be in, or as you'll see in a little while, a Scrivener's error. And when I looked it up, I went, oh, we need to work on that, so.
Understand?
It just got put on my list for something that we needed to address later on.
Understand?
Just,
Yes, sir.
do you, of course, I know when you come here, do you know when the last time these were updated prior to this?
I think it was 2016.
Okay. Okay.
A lot of things take place, and a lot of changes made since then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the whole subdivision land development ordinance was redone since then too.
Okay, good.
Okay, we're gonna close the public hearing, and, entertain a motion, or do you have any discussion about this? Favor, anyone in favor?
Motion approved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Okay. We'll move on to, update of section 6.55 for townhomes.
Mr. Chairman, would you mind speaking up a little bit? I think some people can't hear.
Oh, okay. We're gonna update, we're moving on to the update of section 655 townhomes. Open the public hearing for that. And I'm gonna ask our planning director again to explain that.
Okay, this is section 6.5 of the zoning code. It is the requirements for townhomes. So when they updated the townhomes and removed, when they updated townhomes and they removed R4 back in December, I'm sorry. They changed the lot size requirement for townhomes to be a minimum of 2,400 square feet. Now, further on in the code, in 6.55, under all the different requirements, it has, units in the building, staggered front facades, building separation, all the requirements. It mentioned that the minimum lot size for a fee simple townhouse should be 2,000 square feet with an overall average of 2,400 square feet for the townhouse development. So what we're doing here, what's proposed, is just removing the 2,000 to make section 6.55 in compliance with the chart. So that would up the townhome minimum lot size up 400 feet and make the table match with the requirements.
And that would remove the minimum of 2,000 altogether?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. They kind of already did it in the chart, but it didn't change in the actual requirement section.
Okay.
Does anyone wish to speak in favor of this?
With the current townhomes that are being planned in front of the Creekside subdivision, does it have anything to do with how many more they can put there, or how many less, how much?
Well, potentially it would make them go less, but when I'm asked, I refer to the chart.
Understand.
Because the council changed the chart,
Gotcha.
and it's not really a Scrivener's error, it's just a portion of the code that wasn't updated with the rest, so we're just making sure that they coincide.
Understand.
So if it did anything, it would allow for less townhomes.
Understand.
Anyone else want to speak? Opposition or in favor? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Make a motion approved.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. All right, we have one more. The correction of the error in table 4.3. I'll ask planning director to explain that to us.
Okay, this was a error that I noticed when we had a business license come in. The use chart is table 4.3, and it starts with institutional, has C1, C2, C3, and M1 and MU. What had happened was retail enclosed had it was retail trade establishment enclosed, which is a retail store. It had become switched in institutional and C1 because they're beside each other. So institutional had a P for permitted. C1, which is the most common district that a retail establishment enclosed would be in, was crossed off as not permitted. So they were just flip-flops.
It's an error, really.
Yes, sir. So it was just an error. Normally Scribner's errors are taken care of by the clerk. They don't go to a public hearing. But since we were doing an update and we saw it, we wanted to run it through the planning commission also anyway, just as a courtesy, hey, let everybody know that this was a mistake, we're fixing it. What happened also was C1 and MU was modeled off of uses for C1, so MU had also had a X on it. So now retail is a permitted use in C1 and MU, like it should be.
Members have questions? Anyone want to speak in favor or opposition to this?
Since we don't have the map that you guys are looking at, if you don't mind, can you show us like on the map what areas are zoned for the MU, if MU is a certain zoning area, or does it apply?
Yeah, there's only one MU actually. It's the the formerly commercial portion in front of Creekside.
Understand?
That
Okay.
right there. It's kind of sort of, for those of you who aren't familiar with Creekside, it's kind of catty cornered across from Lawson's Funeral Home. There's a small set of duplexes over there directly across the street from it, and then the school property is also over there. That's the area we're talking about. That is the only MU zone parcel in the city.
Anyone else? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, motion and second. All in favor? Carried. That concludes our business for tonight, and entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Thank you. We appreciate all y'all coming out.
Thanks.